2 each. Alright, and here we go. Already some divergence here. Monoci starting in Link's house, grabbing some bombs. Jam grabbing a single key.
That's an interesting find early in Sanctuary because it means, all 3 crystals Light World?
Yep, that's what I saw.
And I think it was number 5 on Desert.
I believe so. So despite finding 3 bombs, we see Monoci here still grabbing a couple bombs that he can from the bushes. Only gets 1 of them, but with 4 bombs in hand, he's pretty set for Kakariko.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice tier 1 tree pull, 20 rupees.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps. They're gonna have money, plenty of time for Kakariko, the bottle vendor, and all.
I totally missed what was in a race game, but apparently it was important because Monoci is deciding to grab it.
Very nice. If Sanders is hyped about what I think it is, then it's gonna be blue mail early here for Monoci.
Yeah, I'd probably grab that. Alright, so we got an early blue mail and a couple of bombs. Gem saying no to the piece of heart. We've got some money on the library today. Can't really say if anyone is going to grab it. Depends on when they find the boots and if they're short on Zora money, but more likely than not, it's probably going to stay up there.
Yeah, there's a couple of routes that would put it in efficiently, perhaps, but it would mostly be unusual.
Alright, so both of our guys now in Kakariko from different directions, but they're gonna find the same items eventually. I'm curious to see if Gem decides to pick up the blue mail, seeing how he already skipped out on a heart container. Which, you know, understandable, but this early in the game, you probably want to get all the hearts that you can.
Yeah, I would say so. He might be feeling a bit bitter about hearts yesterday when he attempted to death warp the Tower of Hera basement. The item down there was a heart piece, and it was the 4th, and he had blue mail and like 12 hearts, and and no mirror, of course. But there goes Kane out of the well.
Oh man, an early Kane, alright. And a mushroom.
Very nice. Better to get that early, I would say, and just kind of get it over with.
Oh, shovel. I was hoping for a hammer because that would have probably meant an immediate powder glitch here.
Right. Yeah, that would have been the fake powder starter pack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so shovel, all sorts of fetch in the well.
Yeah, just some fetch quests. Alright, so Gem grabbing his stuff from the well. You know, Monoci probably gonna head up into the Lost Wood. Oh, and the green goo from the bottle vendor, which Monoci couldn't afford yet.
Yeah.
So this might be our first big difference here, depending on what the sick kid actually gives us.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, these guys are both very good, but running out of magic at some point might end up biting Monoci, where Gem's gonna have a little bit of safety in that way.
Yeah, you never know. The bottle vendor, I mean, once you get the flute, you kind of come back there again, but other than that, if you've cleared out Kakariko, you're kind of not going back there, really.
Yeah.
Alright, sick kid, what you got? Oh, man!
Wow, speaking of if you ever get the flute, ooh.
Well, that probably means Monoci won't be back here anytime soon-ish.
Yeah, unless he's noticing his rupee count soon and heads back down. That is, well, we'll let the anthem play.
Yeah, pre-5 minute Swag Duck Anthem. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah, I think it finished right up at the 5-minute mark. Yeah, and that's one of those items you almost forget the rest of Kakariko and just go, oh, well, like Death Mountain and stuff, right? Like, I can go anywhere now very quickly.
Yeah, it really kind of pushes you to immediately flute away, but thankfully Gem not forgetting about all the rest of the stuff here.
Yeah, exercising some caution. And I was thinking about this blue mail. I think he's going to grab it because it's kind of like having a growing amount of heart pieces over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean
he certainly doesn't need it.
No,
he's going to blind pull it anyway, so
he's just going to grab it anyways. No big deal there.
Yeah. Which also, yeah, then with the shovel is likely to just continue walking rather than the usual save and quit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to not see him save and quit anyways with the flute in hand.
Oh, and just bombs for the mushroom here on Monoci's side.
Interesting. This is the second time I see the mushroom assistant lady have a text box. I think it might be just after you turn in the mushroom that she still has a text box, because usually you can just refill your hearts without any text boxes.
Interesting, yeah. That is one of the MOs of the randomizers, to eliminate the text boxes, except where they're actually important. Like the digging game letting you know that he doesn't like your purple chest friend.
Oh, and we're getting a flipperless hooligan room set up from Monoci here. He really wants that Zora money.
Yeah. Ooh, just 5 rupees for the shovel, so fetch is not happening. And here goes a route for the Link's house chest.
Well, sure, why not?
And he's off to escape, I would reckon.
An interesting choice. I really don't like going down there without a decent weapon. I mean, he has some bombs, quite a few bombs. Oh, he's going to Uncle. Okay, never mind me.
Yeah. And he's got a green potion and Cane of Samaria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's terribly ineffective. I can't say I've ever tried it.
Man, there's bombs everywhere for these guys.
Yeah, and that didn't even max him out. And a lamp. Pretty good spot for it.
Yeah, I like that. No dark rooms anymore for these guys.
That, may have oddly enough made the difference for Gem yesterday. Farame dove into Turtle Rock, ended up pulling a lamp. And not that Gem struggled with the dark rooms at all, but I wondered if, Farame having the lamp just meant even less time spent in certain places.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're...
I like this bomb strat from Monoci.
Yeah, that was very nicely done.
That's cool.
But yeah, even if you super know the dark rooms and you're totally comfortable with them, if you have a lamp, it still makes it a little easier just because you can actually see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, and you do see some cane strats here.
Along with an ice rod.
This better turn into a green ice rod guard down, in the face of the ball and chain guy.
It is the best one-hit kill. It might not be the fastest, but it's definitely my favorite unique item strat.
Absolutely.
We got chat asking about the record of our runners. They are 2-2, having finished their groups, and this is in fact the tiebreaker. And we are getting some cane strats after all from Gem. I am satisfied.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Unfortunately, he now has not enough magic to fire an ice rod job, but still pretty good usage of the cane.
Oh, he's got that green goo if he really, really wanted to, but that's a whole lot extra time. So we'll probably just see the classic dodge this guy, grab pots.
Oh, he's setting up for a death orb, I think? Oh, well, not anymore now.
He does have some bombs to spare, at least.
Yeah, with blue mail. Oh, the
Hey,
mirror.
the trip is worth it. Very nice.
No death warps needed.
Yeah, and how about that? Right.
Good thinking from Gem here. That's probably why he's so far ahead in the tournament compared to me. I would have just continued with the death warp and then be like, oh, wait, I just got the mirror. Oops.
An easy thing to do. And we're getting pot strats from Monoci with a side of boomerang to take care of that pesky green guard. But yeah, with flute and mirror, we can go to Hera.
Yep.
So that's interesting. If we had mitts, we could get in the desert even. Of course, if the back of Escape is holding mitts, that's 2 out of its 3 items predetermined, and that's that would just be wild.
These cane strats from Gem.
I know, I love it.
Looks like there's just an arrow upgrade in the Dark Sewers chest here.
Right. And we're gonna find out what these other 3 are. A bow and a book right now would just be silly. But we'll get neither.
Oh, there's a big 300. Now I wonder if Monoci is going to regret doing that Hooligan room. I mean, it will push him over the Zora money, but right now it's not like he can actually really do anything up there.
Right. He'd have to fake flipper in. And without the Moon Pearl, you can't water walk, what do you call the waterfall wishing, so, you know, diminished returns there. Our runner's mostly neck and neck at this point, having started different directions into Kakariko.
Yeah, the current big difference is that bottle that Gem picked up from the bottle vendor and Monoci didn't, and that led to the flute, which obviously makes Gem's traversal of the overworld a lot faster.
Yeah, we're likely to see him after finish. Oh, speaking of book.
Well,
all right, Light World Dungeons opening up. Bow in Mini Moldorm Cave, or Bow in Ice Rod Cave would be possibly the worst because we might not see Monoci take the slow walk out there, but having the flute Gem is likely to do it. And Cane strats incoming here from both sides.
I really like just pushing. Oh no, he dropped it into the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a bounce. But yeah, just squishing him with the block.
Oh, look at that.
Man.
Beautiful.
Beautiful cane strats. Absolutely love it. All right, 301, 321. And a B. And a shield.
Oh, so this will probably lead Monoci to Sick Kid eventually. So that's
Hopefully.
good, at least.
Yeah, and that'll catch him up with that flute, because that's going to be huge. And then, heaven forbid, he forgets it, and Meyer is a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But both players... Oh, no, never mind. Gem gonna skip on Ice Rod Cave for now. Decides Crystal Dungeon more important.
Yeah, I kind of like that, especially with the flute. You can sort of easily get back here, but this might be a big item that he's leaving behind.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and it would be all the more interesting if Monoci doesn't get back to Sick Kid for that flute.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a heart piece.
Yeah. Gem is not going to be too unhappy about that. He already skipped one of those earlier. Grabs a little bit of magic, good knowledge of what's under the pots here. Wants to continue his cane strats very apparently.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so now we're seeing Monoci make his way to the dam. He's going to pick up his book, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him head right into desert himself.
Oh man, just one shot from the block kills his Popo.
Yeah, good to know, I never knew that.
Yeah. The cane is just such a silly item, I love it.
That's great. And we're seeing that apparently desert is not boots locked. I don't think we've seen what's on the torch yet, but it must be an item at this rate, I believe. Could be a map if we're lucky.
Yeah, we have the small key, we have the big key. We're hoping it's the map for the sake of speed. For drama, it should be a very much needed item like the bow.
Oh man, that would be mean.
But it's a power glove, and that's about as dramatic.
Yep, that's equally as bad.
Yeah, somebody took that out of the big chest and threw it on the torch. Oh, all right. And the bow is there in the big chest.
Are you sure you don't have like previous knowledge of this or something?
That was quite the coincidence. Wow. Man, so that's interesting. You're gonna need those boots. And wow, what if that was the first lift upgrade? Because you need it to beat that dungeon.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, for all we know, this could turn into the Titans mids relatively soon-ish.
Very true.
But
there's another lift upgrade at large.
Well, we'll see. I mean, for all we know, this could be the first required lift upgrade that we get to.
Yeah. Alright, nothing coming out of Sahasrahla. But 35 hours in tow and the lantern, they know they're supposed to do Eastern at this point, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. There's
Monoci also knowing those damage tables, putting that cane to work again.
Yeah, very nice. Nobody wants to bother with their ice rod. Can't really blame them.
Yeah, it's a little slow. It's almost as fun as the cane. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more annoying to aim the slow startup of the projectile.
Right.
Alright, so we're getting our first dip into Eastern from Gem, while Monoci checks out that the first lift upgrade, or the only available lift upgrade that we know about so far, is on the torch here.
We got one of our items out of Eastern.
Yep, just a big 20.
Yep. It's like the 25th of them.
Monoci not saving and quitting out of here.
Interesting. Oh, well, he probably wants to check Agina.
Yeah, maybe the ledge item? I'm not sure if Gem has even checked that.
Yeah, I think he ended up skipping both. Or, you know, actually, I think he walked right past the ledge item on his way up to the door. I just forget what it was.
Since he fluted there, he probably saw it. Oh yeah, even more bots.
Yeah. Thank you, chat. Chiming in at the same time on that one.
Yeah, Monoci probably won't mind that. He was down to 3 bombs, now back up to 6, so that's a pretty decent number to have.
Yeah. Especially when we still have not found a sword. Nice shooting from Gem there. You can manipulate your movement in that room to get the some of the Stalfos to spawn outside of the room. So it looks like basically there's only 2 instead of the 4. And then you can also kill them before they show up, so good on him. Just big 20 out of Agina.
Yeah, I think that was what it was. So nothing of importance skipped by Gem here, unbeknownst to him, of course.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's kept track of it, and so the thing I always think about with that is there going to come a time in the seed where Gem's going to essentially cash all that time back in and go back and check those things?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how trolly the rest of the items that they still need are, which, of course, at this point, there's still plenty.
Yeah, there's still a lot to need, including that lift upgrade off that torch.
Yeah, that will definitely be in the back of their heads for quite a bit, it looks like. Alright, I believe that was item number 2 out of here.
I think so. I didn't recall seeing the map, but I've been bouncing my eyes back and forth between our two runners, so...
Yeah, same here, so we'll have to see if Armos carries anything, or if Chad corrects us.
But I'll agree with Blast Egg. Eastern, a bust so far. Does have a crystal, so that's nice.
At least you get a crystal out of it, but 20 rupees and a piece of heart, not what you want to find.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Man. These cane strats, really.
Yeah, man. Cane strats everywhere. And a plus 10 arrow for the job.
So that was a total bust.
Yeah. You could read that as an omen, no sword for 40 more minutes or something.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, the seed really led them here with the lamp and the bow, but nothing in here at all.
Yeah.
Alright,
Just
where
the
we
crystal,
going now,
but
Jen?
if pod ends up being the crystal, they have the mirror. It would have been better to route it that way. At this point, it would be a moot point on account of both of them being here.
Alright, so we are getting an Ice Rock Cave check from Gem, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah, so he'll kind of cash in this time, although being able to flute there does save a significant amount.
Yeah, and he can just flute away again once he's done here, so he's not going to lose nearly as much time as Monoci did.
Yeah, and I gotta think Death Mountain's the next play.
Yeah, at this point with the lamp and the flute and everything and the mirror, I really don't know where else they could be going at this point. I mean, Gem still has his mushroom to turn in, I think. Well, we know that was nothing.
You are correct. In fact, he will do it now.
They also both have the money for Zora now. No Moon Pearl or Flipper, so if they want to get up there and leave everything else behind, they could.
Yeah, that would be a sequence break at this point. So, probably waiting on, as you said, the Flipper or the Moon Pearl to be able to just kind of really make that worth.
Mm-hmm.
Gem doing the, what seems to be a rather usual reverse old man anymore. I feel like we get the flute way before we get lamp and lift anymore.
Yeah, you barely see the vanilla way up Death Mountain anymore these days. Let's see if the old man has anything for us.
Yeah. We had chat calling for the boots off of him earlier, and now the flippers would be fun. But it's the old man giving him his cane. That seems fitting, but now he's not going to go anywhere. Can't walk without that cane.
Alright, let's see what's up here on Spectacle Rock. Just a 5 arrow upgrade.
Oh, man. Heart container in spec?
Yep.
Cane strats from Monoci, not quite as buttery smooth as Gem, but definitely still quite good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you just have to have a certain presence of mind to know to do that. And so we get an ether tablet check from Gem. And he's 2 sword upgrades away from that couch cash. Not that he's going to want it.
Yeah, same as with the money in the library. Since they're both already well above the 500, I'm probably already in the range of I don't need any more unless I want bottles. Or rather, the goo in the bottles.
Right? early big key here in Tower of Hera means we might not have to do the basement. I'm sure Gem will be relieved of that after yesterday. And a hammer helps you finish this one.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
That's a very nice weapon to find.
And a great spot for it, not just for this dungeon, but now they can get over to the other side of the mountain. But now I won't find out if Kane works on those guys. Monoci cleaning up his other fetch quest there for his 5 whole rupees.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta check it at some point. You don't want to have that in the back of your head all the time.
Oh, Gem nailing the Tower of Hera bomb jump there. Not an easy one, and not one of, well, a rather high-risk one, I should say. You fall down 2 floors if you mess that one up.
Yeah, this is not a good hole to fall into, and Monoci is finally grabbing his flute. He's probably not going to be too happy about that one.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wonder if he's going to check the bottle vendor, and he is, and that's probably... Well, he's activating his flute, at least. Oh, there we go. Well, no, he's definitely going to be unhappy about that.
Yeah, that's adding to the frustration for sure. Oh, no. Gem takes a hit from Moldorm.
Yeah, Gem not having a great time there.
Yeah.
Also down to 2 hearts, so...
Right,
not in any real danger, but, you know...
Yeah. Blue mail, it should be fine. Oh.
Gem, what are you doing? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that hitbox on that first attempt was pretty rough, but there we go. 3 hits, down he goes.
Oh, and the basement is required.
Indeed.
Alright, so that is crystal number 2 for Gem, while Monoci is making his way up Death Mountain, also grabbing the old man, of course.
Indeed. One of those locations you definitely don't want to forget. Pretty minimal time investment, but especially when you flute up to the mountain, you're like, right, because he would have been taken care of on the way up here, right?
Yeah, it's an easy thing to forget, but you definitely don't want to miss out on that save and quit spot. With the flute, it's a little less important, I guess, but... Were you laughing at the rage hammers from Monoci?
Yeah, counting off the tile sequence. 3, 2, 1, go!
And Gem showing us the dance of his people.
I believe the song that goes with this dance is Yakety Sax, otherwise known as the Benny Hill theme.
Alright, what you got for us, Hera? You already had the hammer. Oh, what the?
Oh man, and if the Moon Pearl is somewhere over in the other side of Death Mountain, or at Zora perhaps, now that we have a proper way of getting there, it would be in the sequence.
Yep. And that also makes that neat little glove upgrade on Desert Torch into the Titansmiths now.
Yeah. Which is interesting because,
This could mean that they won't be getting back to Desert for a very long time.
Right, there's a lot you can do without it, but there's definitely a couple of things you must have it for, depending on the way the crystals fall in Dark World.
Yeah, but this pushes the possibility of where the boots can be a lot further into the back end of the seed, potentially. Of course, we still don't know, but...
Oh, that's true, yeah. Monoci getting his hammer. Gem getting $50.
we've got Paradox Cave here left, and then we'll have to see where Gem decides to go if he doesn't find anything in here.
Timely heart refill for Gem.
Yep, not gonna be too unhappy about that. Let's see what the big Moldorm cave has to offer. Are we gonna see Cane Strats again?
I should only hope, but I think the wider arena here doesn't really help that. So far, just Red Rang and Boots.
Well, never mind what I said 5 minutes ago.
But the possibility was there, and that's what counts.
So this is going to be immediate Titans mids for Gem, basically. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go back to Desert immediately, basically.
Yeah, let's see.
Probably gonna check the back of his cave, maybe? I don't know. Oh, he's checking the Bach rocks first.
That's a good move.
And Monoci making short work of Trolldorm himself. Gonna grab that map and realize, oh man, I gotta go to that basement.
Yeah.
Alright, and here we go. Gem going some Bless RNG again here. Opening up Desert.
RNG. RNG.
Oh man, I like that. I'm gonna sing that from now on every time someone opens Desert with the book.
And I'll be happy to listen him for it. Now you're on the hook.
Yeah, I hope I don't forget it. Alright, there we go. And as Dara Window in chat points out, he can now also finish Desert if he so chooses.
Indeed.
We'll have to see some bow or ice rod strats here if he does decide to do that. Oh, and Monoci skipped the basement. I just realized, as chat is pointing out.
Oh.
So that's gonna be pretty bad for him. He's probably also gonna grab his boots and then grab the power glove from the desert torch, but the question is, when does he go back to that Hera basement?
That is... Oh man, that's gonna be rough.
It's always that one item that you skip, right?
Seems like it. Gem smartly cutting his dashes short, still lacking a sword. Won't be able to properly run into things. That Igor watching very closely. Where's Gem? Lights that last torch. There goes his boots for mono. And yeah, I mean, knowing where the other glove is, that's gonna pull him away almost like irresistibly. Like,
those are beautiful ice rod shots here from Gem.
Yeah, timed that really quite well. Just a short hop getting in the way on that one. And oh no, taking the debris.
He doesn't have enough magic for another ice rod shot.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yep, I heard the beep beep.
Yeah. There we go.
One hammer hit. I think he only needs one more.
There we go.
Alright, so that's the light world done for Gem, basically. Oh, and Monoci's going back to Hera.
Oh, good. Good.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Yeah, that keeps us close.
Oh, with the boots in hand, he probably thinks, oh, I don't really know what could have led him back here. He probably just remembered.
Yeah. The important thing is, in this particular case, that he got back here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Oh, we're seeing Checkerboard Cave, I think, unless we're gonna see a Super Bunny here.
Oh, map check. We got Meyer and Thieves Town are pendants. Pod is green. Skull Woods is crystal number 6. And Bombos on Meyer. So that's a lot of information to contend with.
Oh, looks like we are indeed seeing a Super Bunny here from Gem. Don't see that a lot.
Yeah, wow. And, I mean, that's not a free trick, right? He pulled that off first try?
Yeah, not bad at all. He got bumped in there by the bird, just like you're supposed to, and
Very nice.
Done. And there are the gloves from Monoci. He's not too happy about that, as you can see.
Yeah, having to run back for this, but you know what? Still, he ran back for this. Very important.
Yeah, his time loss was almost nothing since he checked the other caves there first. And then went back to it. I mean, of course... Oh.
Wow! Wow! A Moon Pearl and
right.
Checkerboard. Like, that is... Whew.
That's, yeah.
That's tricky, because, like, that's not one you think of.
Nope, absolutely not. But here we come, Dark
Holy
World
cow.
for Gem.
Yeah, Aga dead. Moon Pearl in... just, like, probably the trickiest location.
Yeah, either a checkerboard or a pyramid. Those are the two locations where you're like, what, really? This is where you are, Moon Pearl?
Yeah, I mean, at least that one you would know you had to be Aga to get there. Because it's like Moon Pearl's technically in Light World there, but it requires the trip through Dark World with the only item you can use in Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, jeez.
Alright, so here is the Titansmiths for Monoci. He's probably also going to finish off this dungeon. And I hope he checks checkerboard afterwards.
Yeah, it's going to be another, well, I shouldn't say another. He hasn't really had any huge problems in the seed yet, but it would be a huge problem if he doesn't.
I mean, he can't really go too far, which might be his saving grace if he doesn't grab the Moon Pearl anytime soon. But still, yeah, this checkerboard cave, as you were saying, it's not something you really think about.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So wait, what was the first item, though?
10 arrows, I think.
Okay. So, generous guy had to break the mold, but,
Just, wow. I don't even know.
I will say this, every other item location now just got a lot more hype.
I mean, I've seen this cave have 4 heart pieces before, but 4 big 20s.
Right. Well, time to go do digging game, right? 80 rupees in your pocket. Heesh. That's silly. Another bottle off of Stumpy.
Yeah, free red goo, that's our 3rd bottle, so not stingy on the bottles this seed, but definitely stingy on the sword so far.
Right.
Just a bomb upgrade in this little mirror spot here.
Monoci gonna put that green goo to work. Says, I don't want to have to hammer these things.
Yeah, understandable, and you can also defeat it with the bow, but without the silvers, that's also very annoying.
Right, it takes quite a few shots.
Alright, Alec Baldwin, what you got?
Oh!
Oh man, Gem just finding all the items here.
Yeah, hook shot off the digging game is a nice find.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him grab the frog immediately here.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got the mirror, you can just walk him right home, that's awesome.
Yeah, you're right here. Can also check the hammer pegs. Can't hammer dash, unfortunately, without a sword.
Oh, that's the most, That's the worst way to not be able to boot this. Because you have the boots.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Sword and peg cave? That would just be mean.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, but it would definitely be me. Nope, just a piece of heart.
Yeah. But yeah, really smart routing on his part, though, to be coming up from the bottom here and knowing he has the mitts to be able to do this, along with the mirror to make it, all the more easy.
Oh, and Monoci is making his way over the checkerboard. Very good.
Oh, very good. Very good. And a fire rod. But no sword to go finish Skullwoods. Which, yeah. It's Crystal 6, so... Yeah, and I can't remember a seed I've watched that had 3 crystals at like 30 minutes, which was about when Gem got there.
Yeah, it's really quite quick so far, and so far we haven't really seen any super trolly things yet. I mean, obviously there's still a lot missing, but...
Yeah. My internet blipped a bit there. What was that lunchbox?
Just a piece of heart, I believe. I had a little bit of restream trouble myself.
Okay. Oh, Monoci making a play to pod.
Yeah, with the hammer and the bow in hand, not the worst. I mean, you'd obviously still want a sword, but you don't need one necessarily.
Right. Yeah, I guess he's lacking other options, really.
Yet another big 20 for Gem. Or could have been a single rupee, I guess, but one of those.
Although, actually, I say that, and he has Thieves Town, which is where Gem's gonna go next. It's,
Oh, and there's our first sword. So it looks like the routing choice towards Village of Outcasts might have been the better one. Kind of hard to say. I mean, as I said, these guys don't really need a sword.
Yeah, not for a while yet.
There's the single rupee.
And the 4th bottle.
Okay.
All right.
Another free green goo.
And someone asked where the sword was, complaining their internet. It was the bombable hut in the Village of Outcasts. So 42 minutes in, 3 crystals, and finally 1 sword.
Yep, at least the one. Theoretically enough to at least open curtains and vines, but you definitely need the Master Sword at the very least to defeat our big boss Ganon.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Gem decides, nope, I'm not checking this further. It's a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, and you get the sort of otherwise infrequent first 4 clear out of Thieves Town. Used to be a staple of a run, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's a bug net from Monoci. I'm always a little bit wary of just doing the first 4 in Thieves Town anymore, I have to say. Especially with the hammer in hand, you're able to finish it completely. No, it's not the green pendant, but I guess with how many locations and items that they're still missing, it's not too awful.
Yeah. In worst case scenario, it is pretty easy to get back there, especially with the mitts.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge time loss. You just want to avoid double dips as much as you can, I guess.
Absolutely.
Alright, so we get a bomb upgrade as the first item in Skullwoods. Gem doing a little rage pull on that chest. Also has to walk through the trap room here. This will guaranteed always be a small key.
Right. Since you can fall in this room and you can't get out the one door, you need a way to get out of that door.
Mm-hmm. There's a compass for Monoci, still looking for those items. There's the big key, that's a nice find.
Yeah, that helps. See him do the horseshoe real quick, and then head into the dark maze.
Oh man, and there's the big key for Skullets. What a holy location.
Yeah, like, hey, you know how you're in the second half of this? Up front? Well, now go back.
Time to walk back.
Yeah. Oh man, being able to dash this section of the woods is so nice. Those Ropa are so annoying.
Yeah, they're no fun.
They hit way too hard for being like a stable Dark World enemy.
Yeah, and they take so much hits with only the fighter sword.
That too.
Just another small key. There's a heart container for Monoci. Let's see if the big chest has anything for him.
Oh no, run! The bees!
Oh god, not the bees. And another heart container.
Yeah.
So far, Pot not really paying out. I mean, it had the swag net, but other than that...
Yeah, it seems like it's been a bust. Like, green pendant could still be gating something, but... Also,
yeah,
a tracker pointing out that Helma has an item on him, too. Shout out to Rywick.
Yeah, it looks like Monoci definitely wants to finish up this dungeon, doesn't want to leave that one item behind, and as you say, green pendant is theoretically another item that might be needed.
At this rate, it's another heart container, though.
Alright, Gem not caring about magic at all here. He does have that green goo.
Right, having saved it from earlier where Monoci used it.
Yeah, he also just got another one in Thieves Town, though.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
He's pretty good on magic here if he wants
Yeah.
to, because a fighter sword Mothula is no fun.
And he's gonna wait here, you'll see. Because he doesn't want to get grabbed by the Wallmaster when he falls down the hole.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the Japanese 1.0 version, which we all play the randos on, you can still get hurt or grabbed by Wallmasters while you're in the falling animation, so...
Right.
Really watch out for that.
Oh, wow!
Very beautiful.
Didn't need
hammer
any
moth.
of the green potion, just beating the moth. And that's the third boss burrito out of 4, so I'm gonna keep the count now.
Yeah, looks like all the bosses throwing some food today.
Yeah. Eastern Palace being the exception, but... Yeah, just absolutely smoked Mothula with that hammer, though. Ooh.
Going back in for that last item that he's still missing.
Yep. Yeah. Each dungeon, I think, has that one chest, and this is definitely Skullwoods.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The worst is if the big key is in here.
Yeah, or I guess the one behind the Gib... Oh, Bamos. All right.
Okay, that opens up another pendant dungeon.
And it opens up... well, they had the fire rod, so never mind. But real quick, get your pet hype in the chat.
We're getting a pedestal check Justice Monoci here.
Just a little piece of love. That's
Aw,
nice.
Rip.
And the shield off of Helmasaur.
Alright, Monoci grabbing his green pendant. I'm curious to see what Sahasrahla has for us.
Yeah. Alright, with the mitts in hand, along with the hook shot to make this just that much quicker, we're going to see Gem head over to East Side Death Mountain to go to the Dark World.
Yep.
Super Bunny, we got Hookshot Cave. I never did see what was on the floating island, but I'm guessing from the lack of hype about it in chat that it was probably nothing good.
I think it was like a heart container or a piece of heart or something. Alright, here goes the Sahasrahla check. Ooh, it's red mail.
Huh.
That's it's a nice item to have, but it's not really gonna save Monoci any time, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not the thing you wanted given the investment you just put into Pod. That's rough for Monoci.
I mean, at least Helma still had an item, even though it was kind of useless. But, you know, it wasn't a complete waste of time going back for a map or something and then the green pendant.
Right. And Monoci taking this walk all the way back because he wants to get over to the pyramid.
Yeah, this could be another big one.
Nothing too great out of Super Bunny. Let's see if Hookshot has anything better. So far, it's looking like Pod in here.
Yeah, all the
Heart
love.
containers.
And some money.
2 hearts, 70 bucks. And a cape on the pyramid. Neither of our runners having checked Bumper Cave yet, as far as I know.
It looks like we need Ether for Turtle Rock, which we don't have yet. And it looks like we're getting a Spike Cave check from Gem here. He does have the cane, he has full magic. His heart count is a little low, but he should be good, I think. Has a bunch of red and green goo as well, so he should definitely get through here.
The boots and the cane of brine to work.
Yep, meanwhile we're getting a Quakefish check from Monoci here. He might combine it with Zora, still doesn't have the flippers, but if you're already up here.
Yeah, having the mirror, I hope he routes it in anyway. And there's a sword off a Catfish, wow.
Alright, so that's our Master Sword. Obviously still the Fighter Sword for Monoci, but we know where 2 sword upgrades are now, or where 2 swords are at least.
Yeah, that's gotta feel a little rough for him about 51 minutes in getting that sword. After 2 shields, 2 mails, and 4 dungeons beat.
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. Oh, and Monoci accidentally dashes too far.
Yeah, thinking flips and doesn't quite have them yet.
Alright, Zora, what you got? Oh, and there's the flips on Bumper Cave for Gem. So that means the cape has to be available somewhere.
Yeah, it was on the pyramid.
Oh, okay, I didn't even realize that. Shows how much attention I pay.
So the flips are essentially on the pyramid plus information.
Mm-hmm.
Some more really sharp routing from Gem too, being able to get over here. And I mean, I think this one's a pretty much a standard if you've got the items for it.
Yep, probably also gonna check the King's Tomb right away.
Indeed. And not wanting to set up a full bonk there.
Even more money.
Yeah, with 4 bottles, they may as well just fill them up, right?
Yeah, pretty
All that
much.
money, and of course, Gem still, I don't think, really needing to empty any of his. And
Monoci grabbing his Master Sword here now that he's finally in the village of Outcasts, so he's a little bit ahead on the sword front.
Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately, it's about one of the only things he's ahead on right now. That dip in the pot ended up costing him significant time. And Gem, paying attention to the color of his crystals, knows he can get the super bomb now.
So that means Gem is gonna grab his cape, and will probably also grab the flippers relatively soon afterwards.
Yeah, you gotta feel like those are a very important item. Especially with Crystal, Swamp, and Ice Palace.
Yep, absolutely. And
oh, man.
are we seeing a bomb dupe here? Yep, we are.
Wow.
Very nicely done by Gem. Jeez.
Oh, that was excellent. Holy crap.
That was absolutely beautiful. So just to inform chat and someone who might be a little confused here, if you manage to screen transition just as the timer hits 0, the bomb will dupe and appear behind you again, as we just saw on Gem's screen. So he timed that out perfectly.
Now, I hadn't even considered that it was any screen transition, because you saw he made 2. Pyramid Fairy boss this time.
Yeah, a little unfortunate.
But yeah, so any screen transition will do, and when timer hits 0, it will duplicate itself, so you don't lose your bomb. And so that was like obviously a pretty urgent play he had to make, and not possible without the boots.
Alright, so Monochi did grab his flippers, and Gem is probably on his way there himself right now.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, and so they've got everything they could possibly need for both Ice Palace and Swamp Palace.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we got the... Yeah, I guess it's just the Ether Medallion to open up Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Monochi here right now is that he hasn't checked the blacksmiths yet, which is where the fire rod for Gem came from.
Right.
So that might, be a little bit of time for him here before he decides to check that.
Yeah, and it occurs to me now too that Bamos is actually blocked by that fire rod, so he can't even get in the Ice Palace yet. So that's interesting. Oh, and I guess Gem needs to get that other sword off of Catfish or elsewhere.
Yeah, he's definitely still looking for a Master Sword at least, and since they don't have the silvers yet, they probably wouldn't mind finding a Tempered Sword somewhere.
Right. Alright. Gonna get some portal travel from Gem here.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen this yet, right? Because when Monochi was here... Ooh, and there's the silvers.
Alright. That was what he was wishing for.
Absolutely.
At least to some extent. Yeah, about the only thing, observationally speaking anyway, that's kind of a bummer about this route from Gem is that we know Catfish has the sword.
Yep.
But even so, I mean, this ends up being really easy to pull off from where he was going. Yeah, we got a bit of confusion in chat about the locations of the swords. Both of our Ether on the Lake Hylia Island. All right, well that's I
wouldn't be surprised to see Gem immediately grabbing that.
Yeah, he's literally running to do it right now because that is go mode for him before he gets into Ice Palace, before he gets into Swamp Palace.
Yep.
That is wow. He was on his way to Ice Palace, I would assume.
Yeah, he probably wanted to check the
wait a
hobo.
minute. Let us not be messing around.
Oh, I guess he's just gonna go mode Swamp first.
Oh, that's funny. And heck, he might, knowing he needs the sword, he might do a full-ish clear of this and hope to find it here. I know he's not really predisposed to left side.
I think he's just gonna go mode it. He's probably gonna take the risk. He knows there's still 3 sword upgrades out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And knowing Gem, he might just take the risk. Especially since, as you say, he just found his quasi-go mode item on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna check chests that are sort of on the way, but I doubt we'll see a left side swamp from him.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, that's a nice big key.
Yeah, even if he only went to the back of the dungeon now, that chest would literally be in his way.
Alright, we're getting a Trail of Rock check from Monoci. He will find out that he also needs ether.
Yeah, the darkest timeline would be 2 swords left side swamp and Gem skips it. Because I don't think he's going to get to the Catfish anytime soon.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see him make the way to Catfish. He's probably hoping for one in either of the dungeons that he still has left, or in Ganon's Tower at the worst. I mean, really, the worst thing that could happen to him is if there were no more swords on his way and he makes it all the way to GT without the Master Sword.
Right. Because then he'll be opening chests on his way up Descent, like, please, please, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monoci working through Hookshot Cave now.
Yeah, gonna be pretty disappointed. I mean, he grabbed some more hearts and stuff, but definitely not what you want to find.
Alright.
So far, no sword luck for Jim yet. Oh, and does this mean we're gonna see a menu boss here?
I think it does.
Gross. Oh, actually, with the fighter sword, you can spin the puffs, which might be faster. You do double hit them, and that kills them basically in one shot.
Right. Yeah, we'll see what
Oh,
getting bumped off on the strat, yeah. But yeah, we are seeing that spin attack. Pretty good move.
Yeah, I like this strat. It's probably not too much faster or slower than the menu boss, but it's just a lot more convenient and less annoying to play.
Absolutely. After that first minor hiccup, he's pretty much acing it.
Yeah, looks great so far. Can finish it up with a single silver arrow once he gets all the puffs out of the way.
Yeah. Argus, please. He's just hanging out like, I see you've killed all my friends.
Yeah, he was just in disbelief.
Yeah. With fighter sword? How?
How did this happen?
But that's crystal number 5 for Gem after a nice Argus fight there. $100 prize money.
Yep, still no sword, but plenty of rupees. Alright, now he's gonna make his way over to grab that ether. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see him make his way over to the Ice Palace and go mod that as well.
Yeah, it seems pretty much what his playstyle is gonna be in this one. Oh, being able to use the iframes to get away from the dancing pickle.
Yep, very nice.
Happened to warp right on top of him. Right, and this first chest in Ice Palace, after a flurry of hookshot blows, is half magic.
Ooh, half magic.
Pretty good going into a cold stare fight. I mean, these guys don't need it, but you know, it helps out over having to smash them to death.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so Monoci is making his way through the rest of Skull Woods, while Gem obviously making his way through Ice Palace. We'll see if he decides to go mode it or full clear it. I mean, I'd be surprised to see him full clear it.
Yeah, at this point, especially after what he did in Swamp Palace, I don't think he even went to the chest in the bottom of the big big chest room. You know what I mean? The loop around. Skip that. Did get the double in the back, and what people have been calling the waterfall chest. But yeah. Meanwhile, Mono putting that hammer to work just the same on Mothula.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a trolley position here, especially with all those spikes coming.
Yeah, getting boxed in, but he finishes it off. Nicely done.
Yep,
And a couple of spins for good measure.
Oh man, just a map for Gem. He's truly hoping for the sword.
And no big key yet for Gem, so yeah, just diving right in.
Yeah, he seems pretty confident, or at least hopeful, that he'll find a sword somewhere, at least in GT at the very latest.
Yeah, there's a lot of items yet in Turtle Rock, so maybe even there first.
Yeah, very true.
The best one would just be to find it on a boss.
Yeah, that would be the most convenient for Gem for sure. Very nice. We're seeing Bombos here to immediately kill that little ice shell from Cold Stare, and then probably some nice fire out shot.
Wicked fast menuing there too to be able to get the fire rod out before basically the Bombos animation even starts.
Yeah, it's really good. If you press start immediately, you can change your items while Bombos is still going.
And if you press Y a bunch of times immediately, you can pretty much end this fight before it starts for Gem. Holy cow.
Very nicely done. Grabs a small key, which just tells us that Cane of Samaria was required by the logic in Ice Palace, not that he needed it. Alright, so that will send Gem off to Death Mountain and into Turtle Rock, I'm sure. Accidentally.
Pump fake.
Yep. Just accidentally choosing the wrong save and quit spot.
Oh, Monoci's gonna dive in the mire.
Oh, that is, well...
I mean, the thing that has to happen to keep him in this is, like, sword somewhere that Gem's not going.
Yeah, if the two items in Mire happen to be two sword upgrades. Even if Mono only finds one sword upgrade in here, it could still be very interesting for Gem.
Right, because that just thins the pool even further. Yeah, so the other one we know is Catfish that Mono has that Gem does not.
Oh, very good luck here with the squirrels from Gem.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go, off into Turtle Rock. Let's see if Gem manages to grab his Master Sword in here.
And for his sake, here's hoping. Although for the sake of drama, the swords are either here in Mire or in left side swamp where Gem just will save for last. Small key to start.
Very nice torch room. It's not easy to grab the last torch that you light with the hookshot and not have to wait another couple of seconds till you're around to the next one.
Yeah, it's another example of just his quick input, along with this swag cane dash.
Oh, these cane dashes so nice. Gem really putting on a show here today.
Absolutely. Mono no slouch himself, just gambling on these pendant dungeons is starting to really leave a mark.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, I mean, he's looking for that ether. A little bit unfortunate that he hasn't checked the Lake Hylia Island. It's a spot that he can definitely get to.
Right, and it feels like it's just out in the open even. Alright. Early big key here. Got a turtle rock for Gem.
And yes, Chad is pointing out 2 worthless items in Mire, so absolutely nothing of worth in there. Monoci deciding to spend some of his money. I like this. Can't have too many blue goos in your inventory, really.
Yeah, as long as you're on the hunt, you may as well put a little bit of time into that.
Yeah, and with the flute, it's really not a whole lot of time loss at all. Alright, so we are seeing... Oh, looks like we're going back up to Zora and checking the waterfall of wishing here for Monoci. I was going to say he might be dipping into Ice Palace, and we might be seeing what Gem has left behind in there.
Yeah, that's going to be real interesting when he does get there. Because with both the Fire Rod and the Bombos Medallion, that's got to be something weighing on his mind, that Ice Palace may be just holding on to it. What is a shame is that it's literally just north.
Yeah. He's so close to it, but yet he doesn't know.
Yeah. Alright, Gem is going to opt for the Mimic Cave.
Yeah, still looking for that last elusive sword. Well, the last for him at least. Did we know there's still 2 more out there?
Right.
And there it is!
Oh, man.
Oh, man, Gem is going to be so happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is... Oh, that definitely is marking some doom for Monoci now.
Yeah, unfortunately, that really makes it extremely hard, if not impossible, for Monoci to catch up.
And yeah, Pepe Sylvia, AG, yes, Argentum for gold, the chemical symbol. That's why the AG appears on the silver arrows. If I had to guess, it was because you already had the arrow drop sprite and the arrow upgrade sprite, and so it was pretty easy to just modify one of those to have arrow and some text.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, silver is just too many letters, though, so... Went all chemistry class on it.
They are at least silver-colored, but still.
Oh, for sure. But easy enough to mix up with a an arrow upgrade when spying them on a ledge.
Oh,
All right.
absolutely.
And bonus Quake medallion for Gem as he searches for that last small key.
Yeah, Gem sadly only gets to half Go mode, Turtle Rock. The only real advantage you can have here in Go mode is not having to check the laser bridge, but you still have to check 2 out of the 4 chests for the last key.
Yeah. Monoci getting knocked off the edge by the Barry after hookshotting across. That's a bummer.
Yeah, not great.
Alright, yeah. Master Sword Trinex may as well be Hammer Trinex, provided you have the hammer. And
Oh,
Gem
yeah.
agrees.
Nobody's gonna bother with the Master Sword here, probably, if they have the hammer.
Yeah. Especially if you get at least helpful placement, you literally immobilize the heads, so you have a little bit of time to get your hitbox correct.
Yeah, Gem can't quite decide what he wants to do here. Gets the second head down, though.
Yeah. He's gonna prep his spin.
Oh, man. Please be careful, Gem.
I didn't realize how far off the map Trinex can go there.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Gem finishes him off with a whack and a smash. And, well, I think that makes it about time for everyone's favorite guessing game.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got 7 crystals for Gem, and that means it's time to hit up Ganon's Tower. We have locations 1 through 22 where the big key for this dungeon can be found. We must pick it up before we ascend. So get your numerical guess in the chat now where you think that big key's gonna be. If you are a subscriber to any of the speed gaming channels or have ever donated 250 bits, even if it was one at a time, 250 times to any of the channels, then you have a chance to be included on the leaderboard if you get your guess right.
Yep, and please keep in mind, because I'm seeing some room names in here, if you want to guess on the leaderboard, you have to make it a number. It does not accept any room names or anything, just a simple number without anything else.
Powder out of Ice Palace for Monoci while we're at it.
Alright, so that's one of the items.
And that's chest number 1. Chest number 2.
Not even a small key.
Nope. You'd have to put some effort into a right side gamble about now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
there
all right.
it is.
If your guess was number 3, then you have won.
Yep.
And the closest from a supporter was Alpha Channel with a 4. Congrats.
Congrats, Alpha Channel. Nobody guessed 3. Usually people like to guess the Bob's Torch.
Right. And maybe that's just what it was with somebody guessed Torch and not 3.
Yeah, that's what happens if you don't put a number.
But so the ascent of the tower begins.
Yeah, and at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Monoci will not be catching up.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate. You hate to see a race get kind of out of hand this way. But those pendant dungeons just did not pay off for him this time. So it certainly was not a question of execution, but just this time of routing. Gem feeling pretty good. Gonna go into the safety room, though. Feeling as though he has the time, I think.
Yeah, and you don't want to die on the ascent up to Ganon's Tower, because you just have to redo all this annoying stuff again.
Yeah. Like this gauntlet that he's tearing apart handily now.
Yeah, he's making good use of his half magic and his fire rod, because with the Master Sword, all these guys take a bunch of hits.
Yeah. The boots and fire help. Luckily, these blue Zazaks are never actually that tough. Ooh, very nice.
Very nice. That room can be so trolly.
Absolutely. Just because okay, hitbox. That was great.
No, this is my favorite use of the fire rod because it really shows how weird the fire hitbox is when you hit something.
Yeah, that skeleton got hit with like an ash from the firebox.
Yeah, just a little ember flew over and it's like, oh my god!
Ah, my only weakness. But not getting the quick kill on that Lambo too, but definitely quick enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we got Big Dunka in chat, who is, I think, also in this group and barely didn't make it into the tiebreaker. So shoutouts to him. Another great player here.
Yeah, shoutouts to Big Dunka.
Alright, so Monoci is dipping in the swamp. I wonder if he's gonna full clear that, since he's still looking for that ether. If only he checked that Lake Hylia Island.
Oh man, and that's gonna take him a while to find, I think. Just because if he didn't find it right after, well, basically, if he didn't go look for it before... Oh, our tracker's saying Monoci has seen ether. Okay.
Oh, alright, okay. Well, I take everything back, so he's just go-moding this dungeon and then probably walking over to grab it just like Gem did, so that's good at least.
Yeah, good routing on his part then.
Gem getting trolled there by the Bunny Beam and the Anti-Fairy just for 20 rupees. I'm not even sure what he was looking for there.
Oh man. Manages to stay on the ledge through the spin animation. Alright. Does he look for Tempered Sword in this very last chest? He does. And he gets a heart refill, so that's good.
Yeah, that's not the worst.
Yeah, it's definitely no Tempered Sword, but...
So we're missing one sword upgrade, right? We know the third one is a Catfish, and we're missing the Butter Sword one?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. Wasn't in Mire. Wasn't in Pod.
It may have been Left Side Swamp.
Oh, man.
Wait, so was that first one a triple? I heard a lot of
Definitely looks like it. That was a beautiful aga, too.
Wow.
Gem really killing it, the seed.
And, to answer chat, there is no disqualification. That chest is people like to see it checked to quote-unquote validate a run.
Yeah, that is probably one of the worst memes at Rando Spawn. I really wish people will finally get over that validation chest. That is not indeed a validation chest.
Yeah. And we appreciate chat's clarifications and interpretations of the Aghanim fight as Gem begins Ganon. Pretty sure one of those is a Game Genie code. And
oh, that's a very nice position for Gem there.
oh yeah, it sure is. Gonna be stuck right inside the fire bat circle, but that's exactly where he wants to be. Because he can just land those spins over and over again and double down on them even. As he now employs his cape. Finally putting some goo to work there.
Yeah, I think this was maybe the first goo that he's used this whole season.
He has been an absolute madman in terms of just ripping the seat apart. We're into phase 3. Just a little slow to get the spin in there. Got another fire bat to contend with. But when you have to wait for the sword to charge and walk around with it charged, You got a little bit of an economy there of like, do I move fast or do I make sure my sword's charged? I'm taking a bit of a hug. Gonna see potion number 2.
Oh, and all the teleports.
Yep, all the teleports.
We did indeed find the silver arrows to Ganon.
Yep.
Oh, barely misses the torch glitch there.
Yep. Arrow number 2. Yeah, Master Sword on Ganon, even when you're practiced, just not an easy thing to do. So, oh, and shoots one right over Ganon's toes. Into the far head of that guy on the wall. There we have it, folks. GG to
There we
Jim.
have it. GG.
Gonna finish with a 1 hour, 26 minute, and 11 second time on this seed that he just absolutely manhandled.
Yeah, absolutely. He has to feel good about this. And he's already in the waiting room, so let's give it another second while our wonderful restreamer switches over the audio.
Indeed. But yeah, and also Monoci, knowing the outcome, has forfeited, so he'll be joining us shortly as well.
Yeah, both of these guys are in the waiting room currently, so let me drag them in. Hello, guys. GG to both of you.
Yeah, GG, guys.
GG.
That was a heck of a seed. Like, wow.
Yeah.
The checkerboard moon pearl was just silly. That's like one of the oddest spots it can definitely still be.
That was funny. I entered the Dark World Admire, and then I was surprised that I actually turned into a bunny.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like,
Well,
alright,
wait a
moon pearl.
I don't usually have mitts and flute without that.
Yeah.
Well, while I'm here, and just toddle over. Yeah. But yeah, Monoci, that was a tough break. The pendant dungeon's not paying out for you.
Yeah, I think that was really what made most of the difference. I mean, other than, without trying to be biased here, but Jem, you really put on a show today. Like, you have to feel good about the way you played that seed in your execution.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with my execution.
Yeah, and I really think Monoci was right up there too. It's just, yeah, and on a different seed, this could have went completely the other way.
Yeah, it's just
But,
one
yeah.
item needs to be in pendants, and
Right,
who knows what would have happened.
right. But
Yeah.
definitely well executed from both.
Absolutely. There were really only just a small couple of differences that ended up turning into big time differences. Like, Monoci didn't have enough money for the bottle vendor, so he couldn't get the flute as early as you did, Jem.
Oh no.
And that really saved you a bunch of time in the beginning, and it just kind of built up on there. And then Monoci decided to dip into a couple pendant dungeons as well, which didn't pay out at all. He finished all of Pod, for example, and only got, I think, 2 heart containers, a bug net, and red mail from Sahasrahla for the green pendant or something.
It was something like that. It was a lot of safety items, basically.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, like at some point when I only needed flippers and potentially I didn't know at the time what was the medallion for Turtle Rock, so I thought I only needed flippers, and I only had like 6 hearts or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of happy about Hookshop Cave having like 3 heart containers.
Yeah, we were saying that Hookshot Cave really wasn't anything of worth, but, you know, heart containers, it's not something you really want to find, but you never are super disappointed when you get enough heart.
Yeah, exactly.
How great did you feel finding that Master Sword in Mimic Cave?
Yeah.
Dude, I was I was so relieved. The entire time from when I found Ether, I was thinking, what if there's 3 swords in pods? I bet you went there.
Well, we did know that the sword upgrade was at Catfish that Monoci checked, so he had Master Sword a lot earlier than you did, obviously. And yeah, I don't know. We were like, man, if it turns out that there's no more sword upgrades on Gem's way, he might be in for a bad time.
Yeah, that was gonna be the saving grace of it, but luckily Mimic Cave was your saving grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so with this win, of course, this having been the tiebreaker, you advance, and so congrats on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think. Oh, also Kane strats, so good. Like both of you guys just absolutely put on a Kane of Samaria clinic. Like, look at all the stuff I can do. So
Yeah,
that was very fun to watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I greatly enjoyed you pushing random blocks into enemies over and over again.
Yeah, I think my 2 favorites on that were probably Mini Moldarm Cave and the room right before the Armos Knights, where you put down you place the block just right to basically, it was like you killed both of the side guys with like 1 block apiece and then launched them to kill the guys in the front. It was just like, oh, all right, so that room's cleared. Like,
yeah, I was just as surprised as you. I didn't expect it to turn out that well.
Yeah, some expert geometry strats.
But yeah, it was definitely great fun to watch and a great tiebreaker here. You both did really well. It just, as you said earlier, Gem, sometimes it just turns out like that. If your routing doesn't work in your favor, you're looking for items in pendant dungeons where there are none. It could have easily turned around.
Yeah. That's rando.
Yep.
That is rando. Well, congrats again for winning this one and making it to the last 16, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is pretty exciting. Are you nervous at all? Do you have any idea who's going to be your potential opponent, maybe?
No idea. Probably is gonna be someone that went like 4-0. So maybe for Rhyme again.
Oh, man.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, my score is pretty low, so I should get someone with a pretty high seed, I think.
Yeah, possibly. Well, it's definitely going to be exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Of course, we wish you the best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely.
No bias from me at all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I definitely don't drop Pog champs in the chat every time you show up. But yeah, so any other thoughts on the seed?
More seeds like this.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure it definitely had some great moments running it that just felt like, yes, this works.
Yeah, it felt really good playing the seed.
Well, and I don't know that we're gonna hear from Monoci, unfortunately, but
oh wait, I mute my mic.
Oh, there he is.
Monoci. There you are.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all right. Hopefully, you weren't saying too much that we were then so rudely ignoring.
Oh no. Just said good luck, Gems, on your next match, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah, I dove into pot the first one. I got the Moon Pearl, and then that was it. I got a Gambos once the pot was empty, but then everything was in the Obogoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really thinking pot too because of that early bow, but well.
Yeah,
I
because so what was it? Eastern Palace got nothing. That's why I dove pot first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it came out to be empty, so I know it was behind a good 8 minutes or so. So I had to go gamble somewhere, and once I got Bombos, I go straight to Myers. That didn't pay out. And then I did Ice Palace, and I jumped down, check like Helion, and went like, oops.
Yeah, I could go mode all of that. Swamp, Ice Palace.
Well, let's be fair here. You could kind of go mode it. You just decided to. You didn't have a Master Sword.
Yes, I'll admit that.
I was surprised Chen actually checked Mimic Cave because he was go mode, right?
Nah,
He
you
was
got
still-
it.
Why would you check Mimic Cave for that swordsman?
I think there's a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, being up there with Fighter Sword, can't really blame you for checking Mimic Cave at all. Alright, so Monochi, since we didn't hear you before, do you have any last thoughts or anything you want to add? I'm gonna just take that as a no then.
Fair enough.
Well,
But,
guys, thanks again for the wonderful race. It was awesome to watch. Of course, again, Jem, good luck on the rest of your tournament.
Thanks.
And definitely a very good showing from Monochi. If you guys in chat did enjoy what you just saw here from these guys, please make sure to throw them a follow. They absolutely deserve all the support they can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys put on this same level execution every time they stream. Just, whether the randomizer would be so kind.
Yeah, if the randomizer lets them, they will put on a good show.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of that so much as, if you want more Kane strats, you need early. But, yeah, thanks for the great run, guys. Thanks for tuning in, chat. We do have more matches coming at you later today. I guess in about a little less than 2.5 hours, we're going to have one on Speed Gaming 3 between Wolfie83 and Cransoon. And then 2 hours past that, Feral Pigman and Sigard on the same channel. Before some later matches between Hippo and Elminster and Mr. Barry Bonds and Penguin Puff. Along with, looks like there's one more, Keong and I Am the Schwartz. Those happening all the way into the evening and night here on the East Coast, US. And for some of you in Europe, I think well into when you should probably be asleep.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Herf. But, yeah. Thanks again for the run, and good luck with the bracket, Jim.
Thanks, and thanks a lot for commentating. And
Oh, it was a
Lisa
pleasure.
for restreaming. And thanks to our tracker, I think it's Ryback, right?
Oh, of course.
It is Ryvik, yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
remembering. I often forget our trackers who do so well they almost seem invisible.
Yeah, the track is really the unsung heroes of the tournament.
Keeping everybody on the same page.
Yep, so that's going to be it from us for now. Again,
Yep.
Thanks to the racers, thanks to Ryvik for tracking, of course, thanks to Epi for co-commentating with me. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Herfy. Absolutely.
And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
Yep. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.